If I have an obligation, I like to make sure it is my obligation and not the obligation of some other father.
Well, he does have a valid point. Before we can actually place him on child support,
There's some other questions that need to be answered before we agree on paying.
he's entitled to a DNA test.
We can get this DNA testing done expeditiously.
Oh yeah, most definitely. If there's nothing further, you all are dismissed. Miss Canada, all right. You brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Child support and back pay from this man.
Okay, just straightforward. That's what I like. Just get right into it. How old is the child?
The child is now 3 years old.
3 years old.
And I have not received any child support.
In 3 years?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Sir, is there a reason you haven't given her any child support in the past 3 years? What is that?
We've been discussing the paternity obligations.
Okay.
Miss Canada storms into court demanding child support and back pay for her 3-year-old child, claiming she hasn't received a dime. But the man drops a bombshell by questioning whether the child is even his, leaving the court to decide if his challenge will hold up.
What is that?
We've been discussing the paternity obligations.
Okay.
Under the circumstances, I don't think I was the only person having a fling with Rocky at the time that she and I had that time together. And,
Excuse me? Are you implying something?
Well, what I'm trying to say is that I understand that you may have been seeing some other people in addition to me. And the reason that I haven't provided
Well, those are rumors.
I understand
First of
that.
all.
I understand that.
Second
But
of
you
all.
haven't complied with my request for DNA test either, and that's my key. Is that if I have an obligation, I like to make sure it is my obligation and not the obligation of some other.
He casts serious doubt by claiming he wasn't the only one seeing Miss Canada at the time and that she refused his request for a DNA test, raising the question whether this is just an excuse to dodge responsibility or the truth no one wanted to admit, and leaving everyone wondering what she will say next under pressure.
I have an obligation, I like to make sure it is my obligation and not the obligation of some other father.
Well, maybe you should have been obligated to your wife whenever you were having an affair with me.
You're right about that. And honest
So
truth is
you are
that,
admitting that you're married?
yes.
Okay.
And I've told her. I've told her that we had this fling.
You didn't
told
tell
your
me you
wife
were
that?
married until after.
That's correct. That's correct. I did not tell you.
I'm sorry, I won't disrupt you guys anymore. Go ahead.
Okay. So, from my perspective, Your Honor, I certainly understand the situation. I'm not trying to be hard-hearted, so to speak, about this, but I think that there's some other questions that need to be answered before we agree on paying.
She lashes back with fury, accusing him of being married during their affair, and he doesn't deny it, leaving both parties unraveling in front of the judge. Yet behind the emotional chaos lies one pressing question: who's telling the truth? And will the lies finally come to light?
The questions that need to be answered before we agree on paying any kind of support, because at this point, we haven't confirmed whose child this is.
Okay. Well, I definitely have some questions too, but I don't think they have anything to do with child support. It's more about you guys' backstory, but that has nothing to do with me. However, has this man taken a DNA test at all?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Did he sign anything at the hospital
No, he wasn't
acknowledging that he was the father? Okay. So he does have a valid point. Before we can actually place him on child support,
With only hospital documents and no legal proof he's a father, the backstory may be messy, but the court needs facts, raising the question of whether the case can move forward without a shred of paternity evidence or if it's all just hearsay. And he makes a valid point that must be addressed before placing him on child support.
have a valid point. Before we can actually place him on child support, he either has to accept parentage, which, according to what I'm hearing, you're really not accepting it.
He's in denial about his affair and doesn't want his wife to find out.
My wife knows.
Oh,
Yeah,
she
right.
knows now.
He's lying.
You told her?
I would have heard from her by now. I work with him, ma'am.
Oh. At the welding place?
I'm a receptionist there.
Receptionist there, I'm a manager.
That's how we met.
You're her direct manager. Oh, okay. Ooh, wasn't expecting that much tea this morning. So, yeah, he's entitled to a DNA test.
She works with his wife at the same welding plant, making the affair not only reckless, but carried out right under his wife's nose. And while emotions boil over, the judge stays focused on a key issue. Will a DNA test finally force the truth out?
He's entitled to a DNA test.
Sure.
Okay, so before we can move forward with anything in terms of child support, looking at your financial documents you provided, he first needs to get a DNA test. So what I can do is you guys go and get the DNA test, then you can come back at a later date, possibly, if he's the father. If he's not the father, you are more than welcome to bring back as many people as necessary. I'm not implying by any means that what he's saying.
The judge reviews the financial documents but refuses to move forward without a paternity test, declaring it the only legal path. If he's a father, support will follow, but if not, the case takes a whole new direction, leaving the question of whether they will actually take the test.
I'm not implying by any means that what he's saying is true.
Right, he's
but if
definitely
he's
the
not
father.
the father, you can bring back as many people as necessary to get DNA testing, and we actually find the father and place him on child support.
Well, I know who it is, so that's not necessary, but thank you.
Okay. Is there anything further?
Your Honor, can we get your assistance in having this thing compelled so that we can get this DNA testing done expeditiously?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
She insists she already knows he's a father, but if it's so certain, why hasn't it been proven? Now they turn to court, requesting help to get the testing done quickly.
This DNA testing done expeditiously?
Oh yeah, most definitely. And it will be done through the Attorney General's office.
Okay.
Because they are actually on site in the courtroom, and it will be in the courthouse rather. And it will be much easier and free to you all to go ahead and use their resource. Okay? If there's nothing further, you all are dismissed.
Thank you.
Rocky,
You're welcome.
if I have obligations here, I'll stand behind them.
I appreciate that.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
DNA testing through the Attorney General's office is fast, free, and final, and as the court is dismissed, he promises that the child is his. He will do what's right. So like, comment, and subscribe for more courtroom drama, because truth always finds its day in court.